This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, hello, Arvind, Bharat, Janardhan. I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Yesterday we discussed how to create the file system after installation by using fdisk command. How to know that what are the partitions are created, fdisk-l. fdisk-l to see what partitions are created after installation. To see what partitions are created after installation. But you want to see what file systems are formatted. To see the formatted file systems, what is the command? blkid. blkid to see the file systems which are formatted.
Sir, we
If
can't
I
see
create,
your screen.
so if I create the file system, you want to see that what are the file systems which are created. What is the command? fdisk-l. What is fdisk-l? To see that what file systems are created during installation or after installation. So you have to remember three commands mainly. One is df-h, one is fdisk-l. What is fdisk-l? To see what file systems are created during or after installation. You want to know that what file systems are created during or after installation. For the command you have to use fdisk-l, fdisk space-l, fdisk space-l to see that what partitions are created during or after installation. The next command is blkid. What is blkid? The file system which are formatted, which are formatted. If I create the file system, doesn't mean that the file system is formatted. We have to format manually by using mkfs command. Once it is formatted, I can see with blk. Otherwise, we can't able to see that. The file system not formatted, we can't able to see that with blk. If the file system is not created, we can't see that with fdisk-l. The third command is df-h. What is df-h? To see the file system which are mounted. To see the file systems which are mounted. These three commands are very, very important in the disk management. So generally, regularly we use these commands in the disk management. You want to see what are the file systems created, run fdisk-l. You want to see what file systems are formatted, use blkd. You want to know what are the file systems which are mounted, use df-h. We discussed about last class how to create the file system, fdisk-n with fdisk command, and how to format the file system, how to check the file system type by using blkd, which are formatted, and also file system type. Is it EST2 or EST3 or EST4? Type of the file system. You can also see the type of the file system. Is it EST2 or EST3 or EST4? We haven't discussed about what is mounted. What is the meaning of mounting? Why we have to mount the file system? What is the need of mounting? For that, before that, you know the df-h to see that what file systems are mounted. Do you have HDS6, HDS7, fdisk-n? You have HDS6, HDS7 I created. Is it showing the df-h? Is it showing the df-h? No, right? But showing the blkd because those are formatted. Because this file system has been formatted, we are able to see that. But I can't able to see in df-h because it's not mounted. So what is this mounting concept? Before that, //sda. What is SDA stands? First disk. SDA stands first disk. Can anyone tell is it device or folder? SD is the first disk, right? Is it device or folder? SDA, is it device or folder? What is it? Hmm? SDA stands hard disk, right? Hard disk means device. But only in the first class, Unix, there is no device concept, no folder concept. Unix, everything treated as a file. Hard disk is a file, keyboard is a file, mouse is a file is a file, folder also a file. Everything is a file. All are files. What is SDA? It's a file. SDA stands first disk, but operating system will treat as a file. What is SDA? One stands first partition in the first disk. First partition in the first disk. But operating system will treat as a file. SDA1 also a file. Then what is the command to read the data in the file? Cat. Cat is a command to read the data in the file, right? /dev/sda1. You want to see the data in the file. What the command? Cat file name. What is my file name here? /dev/sda1. I'm trying to read the data in SDA1 through cat command. To read this data is not readable. Some junk format, encrypted format, right? Why I'm not able to read this file? For example, take a system file /etc/password. Password is system file. I can able to read through cat command. I'm able to read this file. Why I'm not able to read SDA1? Why? Because as first of all, cat is a command to read what type of file? Anyone? Cat is a command to read what type what type of file? You want to check the
Text
file type?
file.
ASCII test file. You want to check the file type? What is the command? File command, right? File name. What is file name? To check the what type of file it is. What type of file? ASCII test file. So cat is a command to read ASCII test file. Cat is a command to read the ASCII test file. I'm not able to read SDA1. Maybe it is not ASCII test file. Check the file type. File name. What is showing? Block special. Why we're not able to read through cat command? Because it is not ASCII test file. It's a block special file. Which are comes under block special file storage devices. What are the storage devices? Hard disk, DVD, pen drive, USB drive, tape drive. All these are comes under storage devices. Because the storage device, because a block special file, that's why we are not able to read through cat command. Then how to read block special file? Any block special file. how to read. We can read only from the mount point. What is the mount point for SDF1? /boot. The mount point for SDF1 is what? /boot. So how to see the files under /boot? How to see the files under /boot? ls/boot, right? ls is the command to see the files in the directory. ls/boot. Where these files are under boot directory. These files are under boot directory. Programmer point of view and user point of view, they feel that these files are under boot, but these files not under boot. These files are in SDA1. Physically, these files are in SDA1. I am able to read from the mount point /boot. You understood the concept? The files in SDA1, SDA stands hard disk, right? First, SDA stands first disk, first partition. Physically, data will be stored in the hard disk, but we can't able to read directly the files in the hard disk through cat. How to read from the mount point? How to read the mount point? ls/boot. These files are they're able to see from the boot, but physically these files are in SDA1. They are reading from the mount point. Like you want to see the files in SDA2, what the mount point /usr, right? ls/usr. Where these files are in SDA2. I can read from the mount point. ls/usr means what? Usr is the mount point for SDA2. So where these files are in SDA2, we are able to read from the mount point. You want to see the files in SDA3, what is the mount point? So it is a mount point. ls/ where these files are in SDA3. I can read from the mount point. Do you remember in AWS we create the EBS volume? After creating EBS volume, we attach the EBS volume to the EC2 instance and we mounted that volume. So you have to understand what is this mounting concept. To understand AWS EBS volumes, you need to understand this mounting concept. So what finally you have to understand? Data physically stored in SDA1, SDA2, SDA3. These are called file systems. SDA1, SDA2, SDA3 are the file systems. These are called mount points. Data physically stored in the file system. To access the data in the file system, we can access only from the mount point. We can't access directly. We can access only from the mount. Is it clear, everyone? Do you want to repeat again? For example, I am creating the file touch some/boot some file1. Touch is the command to get the file, right? Where this file I created under /boot. Can anyone tell where this file1 is created? You can see that, right? ls/boot. There is a file called file1. Where it is created under boot. But it is not under boot. It is created under SDA1. It is created under SDA1. Anything you want to write in the file system, these are called file system. Anything you want to write in the file system, we can write only from the mount point. Anything you want to read from the file system, we can read only from the mount point. Reading and writing the data in the file system only from the mount point. For example, if I create one directory mpder/der1, where DR1 is created under root. But root is a mount point for SDA3, where DR1 is created not under root, under SDA3. So whatever you create in the mount point, those files, those data physically stored in the file system. Any storage device, the concept is same, not only hard disk, either DVD, pen drive, USB drive, any storage device we have to mount it. Without mounting that device, we can't able to access. Is it clear, everyone? Any question? Right. So why we are not able to see HDS6, HDS7? Because those are not mounted. What I told you that DF-H to see only mounted file system. DF-H to see only mounted file system. Because those are not mounted, that's why we are not able to see. Now see how to mount the file system. To mount the file system, first of all, we need one directory. Create one directory first. Any directory, for example, RRDB is already there. I'll remove it first. To create the directory first, RRDB under root. I create the directory under root. Under root means what? This directory is created under SDA3. This directory is created under SDA3. Now mount // SDA6 mount point RRDB. We are able to mount this file system. Why? Because file system already formatted. Yesterday we format the file system. If not formatted, we can't able to mount. If not formatted, it won't allow you to mount. They need to be formatted first. So we mount the file system, run the command df-h. You see now SDA6 mounted on /RRDB. Mounted on /RRDB. Now how to write the files in SDA6? How to create the files in SDA6? We can't write directly in SDA6. We have to go to mount point. What's the mount point for SDA6? Mount point for SDA6 RRDB. Go to RRDB ls. There's a directory called last plus font. Is it file or directory? You want to check it ls-p. The file with /, those are called directories. This is called directory. Where this directory is created? Did I create this under RRDB? I just create the directory, right? That means where this directory is last plus font / SDA6. This directory in SDA6. I'm able to read from the mount point. A last plus font directory by default create when we format the file system. When we format the file system. So where this last plus font directory is under SDA6. They are able to read from the mount point. Now create some files such file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. All these files are created not under RRDB. These files are created under SDA6. We are creating through mount point. Whatever you create in the mount point, the data being stored in SDA6. Is it clear, everyone? Why we need to format? Why we need to mount the file system? Without formatting, without mounting the file system, we can't able to access. We can't able to write. We can't able to read. So already we have SDA7. Is it formatted? I want to check it PLKID. SDA7 is formatted. Now I can mount it now. To mount the file system, I need a directory. To mount the file system, I need a directory. Already we have a directory called /home, mount /sdsd7 on /home. Home is the default. Home is the default directory under root. Home is the directory default under root. Now we'll see that SDA7 mounted on /home. So go to /home. A last plus one directory by default create under SDA7. Create some files F1, F2. Where these files are under SDA7. This is what create the file system, format the file system, mounting the file. Any question? Am I clear? So you have to practice, otherwise you can't understand the concept. Right. How to unmount the file? To unmount the file system, so After formatting, yesterday we format the file system, then check it BLKID. After that, create a directory, mkdir some directory, or RDB something, any directory as you wish. Mon // sds6 on or RDB. You can check it df-h // sds6 mounted on or RDB. How to write the files as DS6? Go to mount point or RDB, create some files, any files. So let's say file 1, file 2, file 3, and so on. Where these files are going to create, not under RDB, these files are going to create under SDS6. Anything you write in the mount point, those files are create in the file system. This is called file system, and this is called mount point. You can see file 1, file 2, file 3. These are created under SDS6. Same mount create one directory. Already we have directory mount // sds7 /home. Home is by default under root. No need to create the directory by default. So we are using the default directory /home. Then mount df-h. You'll see the // sds6 mounted on RDB and // sds7 mounted on /. So anything you want to write in sds7, go to mount point cd/home. You want to write sds6, go to mount point cd or RDB. Mount point is always unique. We can get a duplicate mount point, but don't get duplicate mount point. That should be unique. What will happen if you get the duplicate mount point? That is later. First understand this concept. Why we need to mount, how to write the data in the file system, how to access the data from the file system. So take the snap. You just follow the steps. First get the file system with fdisk command. Step by step you follow. Then check the partitions file, not updated. Update the kernel by using partprobe command. Check this file, it updates automatically after partprobe. Then format the file system with mkfs command or mkfs.est4. This command format with est2. This command format with est4. Then you want to check the type of the file system. Run the blkid. Then create the directory mkdir. Mount the file system. Check the mounted file system with df. Right. How to unmount the file. Mount means attach the file system to the directory. Unmount means detach the file system from the directory. Type umount mount point. For the mount point /home. We can give the mount point or file system. Umount for the file system /sds7, which is mounted on /home sds7, right? We can't remember this file system sds6 or 7, but I can remember the mount point. So in place of file system, give the mount point, mount slash home. It will unmount the file. Unmount nothing but detach. Detach the file system from the mount point. You can check it. Mount slash home. Now type df-h. Are you able to see that as DS7? No, right? Because it is unmounted. So run df-h. We can't able to see that. We can't able to see that unmounted file. Does it mean that data is lost in HD7? No, data is still available. Data is there still in HD7, but not available to the user. You can't able to access it. Data is still in HD7, but no one can access. Why? Because I unmount the file. So tomorrow you want to access the data in HD7, again you have to mount it. So what's the command? Mount. Earlier I mounted on slash home. I'm going to mount on some other directory. I'll get some directory called apps directory and mount // sds7 on apps. Earlier my mount point is slash home. Now I mounted on apps. So create one more directory. mkdir apps. Then mount // sds7 on apps. What I mean to say, we can change the mount point. Earlier slash home is the mount point for sds7. Now I change to the apps. Now you can type df-h. Now you'll notice that // sds7 is mounted on apps. So mount point can be changed. How to change the mount point? Unmount the file system first. Unmount the file system, then change the mount point. How to see the files as DS7? Now what's the mount point? Apps is the mount point. Where these files are as DS7? I can read from the apps. Earlier home is the mount point. Now apps is the mount point. With this, what do you understand? Mount point can be changed. Mount point is a logical. Why mount point is logical? I can change my mount point. File system is physical. Why file system physical? Data physically stored in SDS7. Data physically stored in the file system. You want to access the data in the file system, you have to mount it. Mount point can be any mount point as you wish. So mount point can be changed. That's why it is called logical. Data being stored in the what? File system SDS7, that is called physical. File system cannot be changed. Mount point can be changed. So you can see the same data ls/. Whatever data we are written, the same data is available here. This is the concept of mounting and unmounting. Is it clear, everyone? No. Apps. Apps is a mount point or directory. Apps is a mount point. AuraDB is a mount point. /boot is a mount point. /usr is a mount point. Root is a mount point. But we discussed directory structure. What is Unix directory structure? Inverted tree. Inverted means root on the top. We call it the root directory or parent directory. Root or parent directory. Is it a directory or mount point? Every mount point is a directory. Every mount point is a directory, but every directory is not a mount point. Every directory is not a mount point. For example, you want to see all directories. What's the command? ls slash. All these are directories, right? Boot is a directory. Media, opt, or you can use ls-p. The files with forward slash, these are directories. Opt is a directory. Root is a directory. srv, esr is a directory. All of these are directories. But here, esr is a directory, also a mount point. Root is a directory, also a mount point. RRDP. RRDP is a directory, also a mount point. App is a directory, apps is a directory, also a mount point. So before you mount the file system, what we are doing? So we are first creating the directory, right? And with mkdir, with the directory first, then we are mounting. That means what? Every mount point is a directory, but every directory is not a mount. You want to see all the directories, ls or ls-p. You want to see only mount points, df-h. df-h lists only mount points, not the directory. Okay. For example, apps is a mount point now. I want to make it directory. How to make mount point as a directory? Unmount it. If I unmount it, it became a directory under root. If I unmount it, it became a directory under root. You can check it. ls-p root. Apps is. Do you have apps here? It is still available, but not a mount point. It's a directory. It became a directory. If you mount the file system, the directory become mount point. If you mount the file system, directory become mount point. Mount /sds7 on apps. Now this become a mount point. Now apps not a directory, it's a mount point for SDS7. So you need to understand what is directory, what is mount point. Mount point become directory when we unmount it. Mount point become directory when we unmount it, and directory become mount point when we mount. That is the difference between directory and mount point. Every mount point is a directory, but every directory is not a mount point. Any questions? Right. So here, can anyone tell ls root? Can anyone tell home is a directory or mount point? Home is a directory or mount point? Anyone?
show me the file, sir.
How come file? ls-p slash file with forward slash means what? It's directed, no?
Directory.
Home is a directory,
Direct.
right? How to see the files under home? How to see the files under home? How to see the files under home?
ls ls slash
ls
home.
slash home. Can you tell where these files are? Where these files are?
Under home.
Under home. Where the home is? Where the
Under
home?
root.
Under root.
Home.
That means
Root.
where these files are. Then home is under root. That means where these files are. Root is a mount point for SDA3, right? When root is a mount point for SDA3, where these files are under SDA3. User point of view, developer point of view, they feel that these files are under root. These files are under ESR. These files are under boot. That is user point of view. But admin point of view, you will tell that these files are under SDA3. So whatever files under root, those files are under SDA3. Whatever files under ESR, those files are under SDA2. So don't tell that under root. We should tell that under SDA3 because we are the admin. Is it clear? So finally, where these files are under SDA3. So I'm creating one more file system again. You know how to create the file system. fdisk // SDA, p for print, and for new, take default, plus 1 GB, p for print, wq, right and click, update the kernel, partprobe, // SDA, format the file system, nkfs.xfs, // SDA 8, then mount, // SDA 8, I'm mounting on slash. To mount the file system, I need a directory, right? Already we have home under root. So I'm mounting this SD8 under slash home. Before I mount, slash home contains some files, no? Check it. There are some files under slash home. Now mount // SDA8, mount it on slash home. Now check the files under slash home. Are you able to see this Sunil and Wisdom? No, right? Why? What the reason? Why we are not able to see the files under slash home? Before I mount the file system, home is a directory under root. Home is a directory under root. When home is a directory under root means these files are under SDA3. Those files are created under SDA3 because home is under root. Now it is a mount point for SDA8. If I type ls/home, it is trying to show the files under SDA8, but these files are not under SDA8, under SDA3. That's why we are not able to see. You want to see the files under this? You want to see this files Sunil Wisdom under this directory? Now it's not a directory, right? It's a mount point. It become a mount point. Make it directory. How to make a directory? Unmount it. It become a directory. Now we are able to see that. Now it's a directory now. It's not a mount point. We are able to see that because those files are under SDA3. This is the concept of mounting and unmounting. So when the mount point become directory, the files in the directory is not visible to the user. The file system directory is not visible to the user when the directory becomes mount point. You want to see that? Unmount it, then see the file. Is it clear, everyone? Right. So this is what mounting and unmounting. So when we mount the file system, it is only temporary. Temporary only for the session. Only for the session means what? If I reboot it, it won't be there in the next reboot. Again, I have to mount the file system manually. Whenever my system is rebooted, every time you have to mount the file system manually. That is called temporary mounting. But I want this file system to mount automatically at boot time. Mount these file systems automatically at boot time. That is called permanent mounting. For permanent mounting, there are two database files here. Those are /etc/fstab and /etc/mtab. These are the database files in disk management. fstab file used for permanent mounting and also for auto mount. What is the meaning of auto mount? Whenever my system is rebooted, my file system has to mount automatically. It should mount automatically when my system is rebooted. That is called auto mount. What purpose MTAG? To see the record, of all mounted files. To see the record of all mounted files. After creating the file system, immediately we have to update fstab file. For what? For permanent mounting. So how to update fstab file? Open the file vEditor /etc/fstab. Write the file system name, which file system you want to mount as DS6. After that, where do you want to mount this file system? What is the mount point for this? AuraDB. You can give any mount point as you wish. Every time mount it on AuraDB. Then type of the file system. What type of file system type it is? EST3 or EST4. But before you write the file system type, you don't know what type of file system type it is. Then we need to run the command blkd. Take the type of the file system first. If the file system mismatches, it won't mount automatically. Run the blkd, check the type of the file system. If it is EST3, write EST3. If it is EST4, write EST4. After that, default 0, /sds7. Mount every time on /home. File system type EST4. Then default 0. Update fstab file for permanent mounting. Meaning what? Whenever my system is rebooted, my operating system kernel refers fstab file. What file system to mount automatically? By reading the fstab, whatever file system it defines the fstab, systems are automatically mounted. So you have to write the file system name, after that mount point, after that type of the file system. If you don't know what type of file system, type dlkid, take the type of the file system, then defaults. What is this default? Defaults are mount with read write, RW stands read write, mount with auto, mount with execute. These are called defaults. The meaning of defaults are always mount with read write, mount with auto, and mount with execute. If you want, you can write non-defaults. How to write non-default? Non-defaults are mount with read-only, mount with no auto, mount with no execute. These are called non-default. You want to write RW auto execute, don't write like this. Just write the default. You want to change the defaults, you want to write non-default, then you have to exclusively write like this. RO, comma, no auto, comma, no execute. If write non-default like this, it won't work. At write in place of default, write RO, comma, no auto, comma, no execute. What is the meaning of RW? RW stands read write. What is the meaning of read write? After mounting the file system, I am able to read the file system. How to read the file system? ls mount point, right? ls slash mount means what? We are reading the files in SDA7. That is called read. Write. Write means what? We are able to write the data in SDA7 by using touch or something. We have cat command, touch command. We can write the data in SDA7. That is called read and write. Default is what? Read and write. Auto. Auto stands at the time of putting the file system mount automatically. If you mention the defaults, defaults are auto. Auto stands mount the file system automatically. Your file system will automatically mount because of default. Defaults are auto. If I write RO in place of defaults, if I write RO, meaning of that, it always mount read-only option. The file system SDA7 always mount with read-only option. If it is mounted with read-only option, I can read. ls slash com means what? I can read, but I can't able to write. We can't able to create the files under slash form because of read-only mounted. If I write no auto, this file system does not mount automatically. Whenever you require, you have to mount manually. It won't mount automatically. If I write no, execute stands. Any executable file in this file system can be executed by the user. Suppose if I install Oracle database and SDA6, Oracle database contains so many executable files. There are so many Oracle commands are there. All the commands are executable. If I write no auto here, no execute here, those commands cannot be executed by the user. So that should be always default. That should be execute. If you have any shell script in this SDA7, if you have any shell script in SDA7, I don't want to run the shell script by the user, then you have to write what? No execute. Those scripts cannot be executed by the user. Just understand the concept. We never change this default to non-default. Just understand the concept. What is RO? What is no auto? What is no? But always you have to write default. Once you update this file, you want to check it. Syntax errors of this file. Unmount the file system first. Emount -a. What is emount -a? Unmount all. Unmount all file system. Then run the command mount -a. What is mount -a? Mount all file system. To check the syntax errors in that file, run the command emount -a, then mount all, and run mount -a, it mount all. Now see this practical. Before you update FSTAR file, what I told you, type BLKID, check the type of the file system. SD8 is XFS, SD7 is EST4, SD6 is EST2, 6 EST2, 7 EST4. So VA/etc/FSTAR. //SDA6, mount on flash form, file system type EST2, defaults 0, //SDA7, mount on RRDB, file system type EST4, defaults 0. Whatever mount point you write in the FSTAR file, that is permanent. Manually, if you mount anywhere, any other directory, but whatever you write mount point FSTAR, that is called permanent. In the next reboot, it always refers this mount point only. So as of now, SD6, SD7 is mounted. You want unmount all, run the command demount -a. What is demount -a? Unmount all. But we cannot unmount root, we cannot unmount /ESR because this contains system files, operating system files. We can't unmount it. Remaining will be unmount. Again, if you run the mount -a, it automatically, this is called auto mount. What happens if you run the command mount -a? Mount -a refers FSTAR. Mount -a refers FSTAR. Whatever is there in FSTAR, it mounts all the file systems automatically. This is called permanent mounting. This is called auto mount. So whenever we create the file system in the real time, immediately update FSTAR. So that in the next reboot, those file systems are automatically mounted. We can't remember what file system created for what purpose. Maybe some file systems are for databases, some are for application, some are for production, some are for some other purpose. So whenever my system is rebooted, those files should mount automatically. So for that, immediately update the system. Is it clear? Any question? Now /RRDB is a mount point, but don't say mount point. Now we call that as a file system. /home is a file system. /boot is a file system. From now onwards, don't call that as mount point. We should call that as file system. Root is a file system. /VS is a file system. /boot is a file system. So being an expert, never call that mount point. We should call that as a file system. Why? Because tomorrow they'll give the task or you get a mail saying that get the file system for Oracle database. They just mail or raise the ticket, send the ticket to you. You open the ticket. The task is create the file system for Oracle database. Then what is your job? With the help of this command, P for print and for new, create the file system. They'll also mention the size, how much size you want to get the file system for database. So for example, they said 100 GB, get the file system with 100. Okay, we don't have that much of size, so I'm going to create a file system with 1 GB. So create the file system, save it, then update the kernel, part code, then format it, mkfs.est3 or est4. They won't ask you to format only with est4 or xfs. That is up to you as you wish. But never format with est2. mkfs.est4//sda8. After that, create one directory, let us say from directory called test. Then mount //sda8, mount it on test directory. This is not correct. This is not correct. Why? Because in your option, somebody is logging to my server. Here not only one administrator working on this server. This is a public server, right? Tomorrow someone is logging to the server and you run the command df-h. By seeing the test as a mount point, you don't know what type of data in SDA 8. I can't understand what type of data SDA 8 by seeing the test as a mount point. If you see the OraDB as a mount point, I'll come to know that SDA 7 contains Oracle database. By seeing the slash from as a mount point, we'll come to know that SDA 6 contains user home directories, user database. For example, if I create the file system for third-party software, this file system I created for third-party software, then I should mount it on /opt. We discussed earlier, OPT contains all third-party. So whenever we install the third-party software, where the third-party software are going to install, not under root, it is going to install under SDA 8. By seeing the OPT, everyone will come to know that this contains third-party software. If this file is created for app database, then you need to mount that on either folder called directory called apps, then mount /sda 8, mount it on apps. So this is not your personal computer, personal server, this is the public. While mounting the file system, make sure that the mount point should be related to what type of data we are storing. If this file system created for Hadoop kind of database, create the directory called Hadoop and mount the file system on Hadoop. That's why don't call this as mount points. We should call this as a file system. So from now onwards, we are not going to call that as a mount point. Slash home is a file system. If unmount the slash home, now slash home is not a file system, it's a directory. It's a directory, it's not a file system. You want to create the file system? You want to make it file system? Mount the file system on slash home. Now we call slash home is a file system. Mount -e, mount automatically. So is it clear, everyone? Any questions? So this is called disk management. Monday, we are going to start new topic, user administration. One more we discussed, MTAP file. There are some few topics left that we'll discuss on Monday. The practice is user creation, file system creation, mounting, unmounting, update the desktop file, and check it permanent mounting. We do this practical before we discuss Monday. Monday continuation for disk management, just 10 minutes topic. After that, we start the user administration. Okay, guys.